and welcome to Tabor Talk. So, this book here I'm holding in my hand, Sam Harris, Waking Up Guide to Spirituality Without Religion. This came out September 2014. I'm a huge Sam Harris fan, bought it, read it, changed my life. I used to suffer from anxiety attacks, actually, even full blown panic attacks and bouts of depression, and all of that is gone. So let me do this. I'm going to play a clip from an older Joe Rogan podcast. It's episode number 192. I think this is even before Sam released this book. So I believe it's April 2013, and Sam talks about meditation, types of meditation, love and kindness meditation. He talks about a little bit about psychedelics, and is it possible to reach those states, solely through meditation. So I have my own sort of hybrid type meditation. It's a little bit of TM, a little bit of what they call Vipassana, which is really just mindfulness and concentrated meditation. And it's my own style, and I do not have anxiety attacks ever, right? So it works. And let me show you this, and I'll talk afterwards for a couple of minutes. It's about a 5-minute clip.
And then you're going there. So it's a method, but you think that meditation is probably an equally effective method if you really follow it through. I mean, I think of meditation the same way I think of martial arts. Mm-hmm. I could teach you a spinning wheel kick. I could show you it, right, and you might not ever be able to do it right. You might not have the flexibility, the coordination, whether it's a mental flexibility. You might not be able to focus on it enough, or be intense enough, or you'd be disciplined enough to stretch yourself enough to pull something off. But you can't say that another person can't pull it off. It is possible to pull it off. It's possible to be an expert at it. But out of all the people that you teach this, like Kundalini or some intense form of meditation where you achieve altered states of consciousness, how many people are going to have the focus, the drive, the discipline? How many people are going to put in the time and the numbers to actually pull off an altered state? I have never done it.
Well, I completely agree with that, except there's one caveat, which is I think that the center of the bullseye of altered states of meditation is not so altered. It's not. It's actually the thing that you want to realize from a contemplative point of view is not actually the same as the full kaleidoscope of effects you get from psychedelics. It's not just, and this is a distinction I made, I think, again, in The End of Faith, between the content of consciousness and realizing a specific property of the nature of consciousness. And there's no question that in our ordinary waking consciousness, the content, the spectrum of content is trimmed down. I mean, we have, there's just a kind of a feeling of it's because it's all solid and it's just me here in my body. I'm kind of locked in my head, and it's you over there, and there's no the energy of the situation is quite
limited.
And there are not too many surprises. I mean, we have all kind of been taught neurologically to just perceive ourselves in the world. You give someone LSD or psilocybin or mescaline, and that begins to change radically, and it changes for everyone, and it can be terrifying, it can be incredibly blissful, but what happens is people are flooded with new content and new feelings of meaning and new just the energetics change. So you put your hand on a tree and you feel like the buzz of kind of living contact with a tree, which you have never felt in your life. All of that, kind of the more aspect that you get with psychedelics isn't the point of meditation. And it comes with meditation. So if you go on, a 3-month retreat where you're just meditating 18 hours a day, and every time your mind gets lost in thought, you come back to the practice, whether it's, mindfulness, like Vipassana meditation or whatever it is, it could be yoga. That, being in a pressure cooker of intensive retreat can give you that some experience of more. I've never quite had it like what you get in a psychedelic experience.
How close have you come?
Well, it's not the, you can certainly get what you get with MDMA. I mean, like the full-blown empathic, unconditional love
Really?
thing happen. Yeah.
You've had that?
Oh, yeah, yeah. You can.
Wow.
And they're actually within Buddhism, there are practices that are just tuned to that. So the practice of loving kindness, called metta in Pali, you're just trying to stoke that emotion, and you're just thinking. It's a very simple practice. You bring to mind people you love, not romantic love, but people who your best friend, say, and you just meditate on that person, and you just think thoughts of well wishing for them. May you be happy, may you be free from suffering, and just connect with your wish for that person's happiness. And you just train that up. The crucial piece is once you get concentrated, once your mind is no longer wandering into the chatter of just distraction, and you can actually focus. You get the feeling going, and you can focus on the actual practice. Then you can do it. Then it gets kindled, and then you're feeling very much what you feel on ecstasy, where there's just this. It becomes like ecstasy the moment you move it off, because so you start with someone who's very easy to love, like your best friend, and then the practice evolves, and then you move it to a neutral person, and then you even move it to an enemy. Then you get it. Then it's just broad spectrum, 360. I wish everyone happiness. That's the goal of the practice. But wishing with a totally focused mind that is not lost in thought. It is. I mean, the truth is,
This is
just
profound.
having a concentrated mind that's not getting lost in thought is just intrinsically pleasurable. It's
Right
intrinsically
there.
blissful. It's like the emotional base note of
Such a
all the
profound
good drug experiences.
insight there.
It's sort of kind of the opiate, happy feeling comes just with concentration. It doesn't even matter what you're concentrated on. If you're just concentrated on Buddhists do practices where they'll just focus on a colored disc, and they reach levels of concentration. So you're just focusing on a swatch of red, and you're reaching states of consciousness that are just extraordinarily blissful.
Wow, that's awesome.
But again,
That's
that's not the ultimate.
Okay,
That's not the ultimate
that's enough
point of
of one.
meditation.
So there you go. I have on my channel, I've done a couple of videos, and I get into all the details of my practice. So this is nice living up here in the Catskills too. So we built this cabin last year, January of 2019. So we've been here for about a year and a half, and we have 5 acres. And hey, this helps, right? There's our little Jeep, and yeah, this certainly helps. But plain old meditation, mindfulness, vipassana works. Okay, good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk.